सब लोग जोर से बोलिए। Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Candramauli Swami daily class. And today we are going to continue on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, verse 12. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Glories to Prabhupada. I'm going to give the class until the hour, the half hour, and then I have to leave. So I won't be able to take questions. You can keep the discussion going.
Sure, Maharaj.
So I'll speak for a half hour, and then I have another meeting coming up.
Sure, Maharaj, I will continue after that.
Good.
Just a minute. I'm sharing the screen, Maharaj. Over to you, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Karmanyasmin Anavase Dumaduratmanam Bhavan Apayayati Govinda Parapadma Savam Madhu. Translation: we have just begun the performance of this fruitive activity, a sacrificial fire, without certainty of its results due to its many imperfections in our actions. Our bodies have become black from smoke. We are factually pleased by the nectar of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, which you are distributing. Purport. A sacrificial fire kindled by the sages of Naimisharanya was certainly full of smoke and doubts because of so many flaws. The first flaw is that there is an acute scarcity of expert brahmanas able to carry out such performances successfully in the age of Kali. Any discrepancy in such sacrifices spoils the whole show, and the result is uncertain, like agricultural enterprises. The good result of tilling the paddy field depends on providential rain, and therefore the result is uncertain. Similarly, performance of any kind of sacrifice in this age is also uncertain. Unscrupulous, greedy Brahmins of the age of Kali induce the innocent public to such uncertain sacrificial shows without disclosing the scriptural injunction that in the age of Kali there is no fruitful sacrifice performance, but the sacrifice of the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Sutta Goswami was narrating the transcendental activities of the Lord before the congregation of sages, and they were factually perceiving the results of hearing these transcendental activities. One can feel this practically, as one can feel the results of eating food. Spiritual realization acts in that way. The sages of Naimisharanya were practically suffering from the smoke of the sacrificial fire and were doubtful about the result. But by hearing from the realized person like Sutta Goswami, they were fully satisfied. And the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Vishnu tells Shiva that in the age of Kali, men full of anxieties of various kinds can vainly labor in fruitive activity and philosophical speculation. But when they are engaged in devotional service, the result is sure and certain, and there is no loss of energy. In other words, nothing performed for spiritual realization or for material benefit can be successful without the devotional service of the Lord. Chaksu meritam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale. Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in every age there are different prescribed sacrifices according to the explanations given in the various shastras. Sacrifices were performed quite readily in order to bring about some material benefit, some material gain, or even to purify an activity, such as we have the Vivaham Samskara, marriage, the yagya for marriage. We have the samskaras in the different 16 samskaras, of course, in this age. Nobody performs all 16. There's about 5 to 7 which are still actively being performed. But in this age, everything has to accompany, every sacrifice has to be accompanied by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Otherwise, the results, as it says here, are uncertain. And which means uncertain means usually flawed. If they're flawed, then the sacrifice really hasn't really brought about any real fruit or gain or benefit. So in this age, it's Krishna Varnam Tvasa Krishna Sangopanga Saparshadam Yagyai Sankirtanai Prayai Yajanti Sumedasana. When Srila Prabhupada was getting initiated into his sannyas ashram by his godbrother Keshava Maharaj, they were undergoing the yagya and chanting the mantras. But there was kirtan going on simultaneously. And Srila Prabhupada encouraged that kirtan, even though there was some complaint by others that the mantras for the sacrifice were not being able to be heard because of the kirtan. But Prabhupada didn't acquiesce to that. He simply encouraged the kirtan because he knew wherever there is kirtan, there is auspiciousness. And when that kirtan is directed at the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it becomes perfect. So here it says that any sacrifice, unless there is the element of devotional service accompanying it, will never bring any good result. And one of the reasons why is that no one can chant the mantras. To chant the mantras accordingly, one has to be an expert at the pronunciation of the sound vibration and in accord with the proper meter. But in this age, there's no such brahmanas. Just recently, I did an initiation sacrifice at one temple, and the Brahmin who was officiating, the priest who was chanting the mantras, he not only made mistakes in the mantras, but he actually forgot some of the mantras to be chanted. But the sacrifice went on, and because of that, it became successful because, and there was, the kirtan of the holy name is present. And so whenever the kirtan of the holy name is there, then that is the sacrifice in the age. And Srila Prabhupada also makes this one point. Someone's knocking at my door. I'll be right back to accept it. Yeah, and the point was made one time when Srila Prabhupada wanted to inaugurate the opening of the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan. He simply wanted to do kirtan as the inauguration ceremony, but he decided to go through the whole elaborate yajna according to the rules and standards given in the Shastra, which meant priests chanting mantras and various types of sacrifices into the fire. The reason he did that was because, as he writes about it, and this is actually part of one of his purports in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where he describes that the reason I did that was because the priests and the sadhus in Vrindavan would not accept our movement as being bona fide unless we had that type of sacrifice. But Prabhupada knew, simply by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Kirtan, everything can be auspicious. Because in this age, it mentions us that Yagyai Sankirtanai Praya Yajanti Hisumedasam, that this is the sacrifice in the age, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And so when that accompanies any other form of ritual or sacrifice, then everything becomes successful. And simply by doing kirtan alone, that is the yajna of the age. So there is no need for all other forms of yajnas, although we do respect and follow certain standards given for certain aspects of yajna, such as when we have marriage ceremonies, we do yajna. When we do first grains for babies, we do yajna. When we do initiation ceremonies, we do yajna. All of these yajnas are there, and these are authorized in this age. But the chanting of the holy name in some form or other must accompany these yajnas. Otherwise, the yajna is what we say incomplete, and the results may be less than desirable, if at all. And so this particular verse purport is right to the point. Here it says that the sages of Navusaranya were getting blackened by the smoke because the chanting of the mantras in the age of Kali wasn't perfect. We see in previous ages how mantra chanting actually, if it's not done accordingly, it can produce no results or a different result. When Twasta wanted to perform a yajna to create a demon to kill Indra, because Indra had killed his father, Vishwarup, so Twasta wanted revenge, so he wanted to create a demon to kill Indra. But he chanted a long A instead of a short A, And what happened was, the result was that a demon was created, but it was the opposite. Having a demon to kill Indra, it was a demon to be killed by Indra, simply by that slight deviation in pronunciation of the mantra. No, so in previous ages, it was so precise that even a slight deviation would give a totally different result. But when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, even if you chant imperfectly, still, because it's the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, it will have benefit. And when it's chanted perfectly, of course, then it has even more benefit. But in any case, there is always transcendental success. In other words, everyone benefits wherever there's chanting of the holy name. And so that is the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy name. So we do that. We accompany all of our other programs with the chanting of the holy name. When Prabhupada used to travel around, sometimes he would be invited to do Pandal programs, and there would be other speakers coming from other sources, such as Impersonalists and Mayavadi. And they would get up and they would speak all kinds of nonsense based on the scriptures. And Prabhupada would sit there and get very upset listening to him. Then when it's come to his time to speak, Prabhupada wouldn't even speak. He just have kirtan. In the city of Indore, it happened like that, where many of the speakers were just Mayavadis. And Prabhupada was sitting there, and anyone who is a Vaishnava, who has regard for Krishna, when they hear Mayavadi philosophy, they become angry. Or if they're not very advanced, they can also become deluded and accept that Mayavadi philosophy as being actual truth. So in that case, Prabhupada doesn't even consider. And he had the devotees do kirtan, and they jumped off the stage, and they were having kirtan. There was thousands of people in the crowd, and people joined in. And the whole thing became successful. All of the organizers who congratulated Prabhupada for bringing his devotees and doing kirtan. And practically everybody forgot about what the previous speakers said. And then the next night they did it again. So it became a feature of the whole program. So yeah, so we speak, and we also give our transcendental knowledge to people in the form of philosophy, but we always accompany all our programs with kirtan, either in the very beginning or at the end. Kirtan is always there. Kirtan makes everything auspicious, and as Krishna says to Narada Muni, there's one particular verse where Krishna says to Narada Muni, "O Narada, I am not in my abode of Vaikuntha. I am also not in the hearts of the yogis, but I'm there wherever my devotees are glorifying my devotees are glorifying me. So wherever there's glorification of the Supreme Lord, there the Lord is there." And particularly in this particular verse, it refers to chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is the Yuga Dharma in the sage. So it is fundamental that the chanting goes on in all situations. We go out on Harinam, and we go through the town. I'm sitting here in Budapest, Hungary right now, and the devotees, about 70 to 100 devotees, just went out on Harinam just about 2 hours ago. And they're going through the area chanting and dancing. And it's a way to purify the atmosphere, bring people closer to Krishna, and to enliven the devotees in Krishna consciousness. So this chanting is all auspicious. And even if it's done imperfectly, there's no smoke coming out of the fire. It's always say auspicious for everyone. for those who take part, and even those who watch and hear the kirtan and do not take part, they also benefit from hearing the sound of Krishna's holy name. They get a certain level of purification, and sometimes that they also become attracted and join in the chanting of the holy name also. Okay, so this is some points on this particular verse. So I have to depart because I have another program coming up in 5 minutes. So I'll leave you all, and you can discuss and the topic. And thank you very much for allowing me to speak for a few minutes here. And please continue and find ways to keep it going.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much for your association. Even this association of a small amount also is very, very important, because there's the next verse, that association of a sadhu for even a small movement is really purifying. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So I'll take your leave, and my best wishes, and Bodhiantas Parasparam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let's continue. As Maharaj said, Bodhyanta Parasparam. So we should continue this discussion. If devotee have any questions, comments, then it's fine. Otherwise, can discuss maybe a few more related to that. So yes, Sonal Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I always had this question when we discuss about these other sacrifices. The purpose of these other sacrifices has always been mentioned as material benefits. And when we are chanting the holy name, that's never the purpose. So those two are anyway different paths altogether in the first place, right?
Yes, Mataji. So what's the question? Sorry, I could not get.
No, so I mean, it's just a reflection that we should not even consider that as an option, because that's not an option for us anyways, right? I mean,
yes, like that's correct, Mataji. See, even when we do fire sacrifice in ISKCON, yeah, we need to like what we do really in that fire sacrifice. We do Mangala Charan prayers, and then we do mostly Mahamantra chanting. Yeah. So for devotee, whatever opportunity is there, it's really just glorifying Lord with Mahamantra. We do deity worship, we do anything. The purpose is like really to keep our consciousness purifying and clean. So yes.
Thank you. So I think the point of chanting the mantras, whichever Sanskrit mantras, is also just to purify our consciousness so we can chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra properly. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Means chanting of the mantra, other mantra, is not like the purpose of those mantra is not that we should try to improve our quality of Mahamantra. Every 9 process of devotional service, whether Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, or like 9 process are having its own significance. But as mentioned in this verse, because in Kali Yuga we don't have that purity, yeah, and because of lack of purity, it's recommended that we cannot do other processes nicely. So let's focus on chanting of Mahamantra. But the ultimate purpose of, I understood that ultimate purpose of everything is really to get closer to Krishna, build our relationship with Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Sukha Mataji, you raised your hand. I don't know whether it was a mistake or.
No, actually, that was not a mistake. I wanted to make a comment for Sonal Mataji's question, but you answered the question. That's why I put my hands down that we don't do the yagya or havan for material benefits. We do for the spiritual benefits. That's it. But you have already answered. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah. So I think it's very important, like for a devotee, how to engage ourselves continuously in this 9 devotional service, yeah, whatever. And also important that we really aspire ourselves, we have full faith and with no enviousness in our heart. I think that's something which is very, very important, uh, because that's something I feel, and also not offending any devotee, because I read in one of the, or I heard in fact in one of the lecture, I think it was Amarinder Prabhu or somebody, where he mentioned that in uh, South India, yeah, it was, if I'm not wrong, he was mentioning about Sri Ranganath Swami temple only. And one of the great 12 Alvar, he, like one of the Alvar, who is kind of a saintly people. So he visited in that temple and he was completely immersed. When he saw the deity, he completely got immersed in that beauty. Yeah. And he was not having any external consciousness after that. He was continuously crying. And they have a process in the temple that they used to take lordship in the palanquin into the city, and then they will roam around the whole city and then they will come back. And so they were coming to pick up the deity into palanquin to take him to city visit or city tour. But this devotee, so they were calling everybody, please move away, we are coming. And this devotee, because he was not having any external consciousness, he was just completely unaware of what's really happening outside. Yeah. So one devotee who was carrying the palanquin, who was just following along with him, he threw one coconut on his head, and his head completely started bleeding, and he fell down. But nobody took care of him, and they went to deity, and they opened the curtain, and then they see that deity, this Krishna deity, is completely bleeding. And they thought maybe this is a kumkum, so they just try to clean. And they thought maybe like it's there, but then they realized not actually kumkum powder. It's something really different which they have never seen. So they called the head priest, and head priest was very pure, heartly person. He meditated, and in his meditation, Lord told him that I'm very upset today. I'm not going to sit on palanquin today, because not any, like your people have hurt my devotee mentally, but they have hurt physically, and I'm like bleeding because he is bleeding. And that whatever, if he has been hit, then it's like same thing for me, like it has been hit on my head. And then deity said that you please take care of that person, my devotee. And then they looked around, where is that devotee? And then they saw that one person lying on the floor, completely bleeding. And then they realized, oh. And then they tried to took proper care of like a first aid and everything of him. And then they tried to lift the deity, and deity again not lifting. It's too heavy. It's mentioned that 10 devotees tried to lift him, but he's not even able to move. They are not able to move him. And then again in the head priest, deity came in his meditation, and he said that I'm not having any mood to go out today. I'm really hurt. And they all asked for forgiveness completely from their heart, that please forgive Lordship, we really made a mistake. Next time we will be very careful. But Lordship was not really moving. So he said, okay, fine. If you are really feeling that you have made a mistake, you take my devotee onto palanquin rather than myself. Take him around. And then they were trying to take this devotee, and devotee was very humble. He was Alvar, very humble person, sage. He was saying, no, no, but then they took him and then took him around to the city and then they brought him back and then they were able to move the deity. So this is like, I felt like when I heard this, I was so much touched by this incident that how Lordship really reciprocate and how we should be very careful when we are even chanting. That's why it's said that whenever we chant, we should always first read 10 offenses for the holy name, because offenses are really, really very, very dangerous in whatever way we really offend any devotee. And it's really, we should try to do the selfless service towards the Lord. And who is the selfless service example in the Ramayana? Complete selfless service. There are so many examples.
Hanumanji,
Hanumanji, yes. Any other?
Lakshman,
Yes. Any other?
Shabri,
Yes. Somebody who left his body in that selfless service.
not Sugriva, right?
Jatayu.
Jatayu.
Jatayu, yes. Jatayu left his body just to protect Mother Sita. Even he was knowing that he is so old and he cannot face Ravana. And that's very so touching again that for Lordship service, we should not feel really, many times it happens when service comes to us and we feel that, okay, maybe I'm not well or I'm having this excuse, maybe I will do this next time. But it's mentioned in scriptures that whenever service opportunity comes, we should just grab it because we don't know next moment will come or not. And that service should be done in a very selfless mode, because that's the whole purpose of service. Not to gain really, as Sukhbha Mataji said, not to have any material gain by virtue of that service, because then the service is not really true service. Yeah, it's a more of a business exchange with Lord. Okay, and sorry, I just touched that Jatayu, it just come to my mind, if you don't mind, slightly diverting, but in Ramayana, yeah, because it's anyway very close to Ram Navami. Okay, most of you might have read Ramayana. How many kandas are there? How many kand? Like, just to give you one example, if you don't understand what kand, like Sundar Kand, many of you might have heard, or Bal Kand. How many of such kands are there?
7.
Okay, very nice. Yes, Amrita Nam Mataji is really like, full of nectar and nectarian qualities now. So, what are the names, Mataji?
Balyakand,
Hmm.
Ayodhyakand,
Hmm.
then what is the Aranyakand?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then Kishkindakand,
Hmm.
then Sundarkand,
Hmm.
then Lankakand,
Yuddha Kand.
Yuddhakand, okay. And the last one is Uttarkand.
Jai. Very nice. Jai. Amrita Nam Mataji ki Jai. Okay, very good. And
Guru Maharaj ki jai. Guru Maharaj taught all this.
yes. Yeah, if any of you would like to join on the video, then please just switch on your video. It means because you are just, it's a good discussion, really.
Sorry,
And
Prabhu, my front camera is not working. I'm sorry
no
for
worries.
that.
No worries. Just switch on your back camera, Mataji. No worries. Just joking. Okay. So just like to give everybody an idea, Bal Kand is about when Lord Ram was in, of course, Bal means child or initial, like childhood pastimes. And then Ayodhya Kand, when Ayodhya Kand is when, okay, in Lord Ram, he got married at what age?
I think it was 17 or 18, very young age, when the Rishi Vishwamitra
Yes.
for the
He was just 12. He was just 12 years old, Mataji.
He was 12. Okay, yeah, very
Yes.
young. I remember.
Yes. So, and he got married that time when Vishwamitra took him to, yeah. And then he come back, and that's Ayodhya Kand. Ayodhya Kand is when mm, KK and Mantra episode starts, and when he is exiled. Yeah. So that's Ayodhya Kand. And then next is Aranya Kand. Aranya means forest. Yeah. So forest, when he went to forest for 14 years. And there he have this like uh, Jatayu and everything, yeah, because Mother Sita is kidnapped in that. Then Kishkinda Khan, when he meets Sugriva and Bali, yeah, and Sugriva, everybody knows, yeah, Sugriva and Bali. So everybody knows about Sugriva Bali when Sugriva wife was kidnapped by Bali, and he asked Lord Ram to help him. And Lord Ram said, "Okay, fine, I'm going to. So you have a fight with Bali, and I will protect you." So he had a good fight, and he was not having proper, like he was exactly same because he was a twin. Yeah, but Sugriva and Bali were twin, exactly same face. Yeah, very you can't recognize. And when Sugriva had fight with Bali, he was very badly defeated by Bali. Yeah, and then he asked Ram, "Lord Ram, you said that you will protect me. Yeah, but you did not do anything." And Lord Ram said that because Sugriva, you and Bali looks like exactly same, so I could not understand who is Sugriva, who is Bali. Yeah, and that reminds me one thing. Do you think like Lord Ram cannot really understand Sugriva and Bali? He's sitting in everybody's heart. Do you think like that's a nice excuse or
I
nice
was
nice
thinking
reason?
all the time, Prabhuji, you actually raised the question which I always had it in my mind, that how can Ram cannot find out who is Sugriva and who is Vali?
Yes. Any answer from anybody?
He trusted that he could make it by itself. He wants him to win without his help.
No. He was asking Lord Ram help. He never said that I can do because he was knowing his power. He is very weak in front of Bali. Bali was having so many boons, and Sugriva was not having any boon, and he was knowing that whoever is going to fight in front of him will lose half of his power, and Bali will get half of his power. So he was not at all doing that. Yes, Mataji, Ishta Mataji.
Yeah, I think that because he was playing a role of a human.
No,
And-
that's also not because yes, he was playing a role of human, but when he see Lord Ram, remember one thing, he was a Maryada Purushottam Ram. Yeah, so he always was showing ideal behavior, ideal character in every etiquettes, in everything. So when he said that I am going to help you, but he did not, he cannot take his words. Just to fulfill his word, he just did so many things, correct? So, okay, just to, in interest of time, if unless anybody has any idea, I will just give you the reason. See, when Sugriva met Ram, yeah, he knew that Ram is supreme personality of Godhead. Yeah, and when he saw Lakshman, he realized that Lakshman, because Lakshman was serving him as a pure servant. Yeah, he thought, okay, Lakshman is just a servant who is serving Lord Ram. So what he did, he bowed down to Ram, but he did not pay any respect to Lakshman. He completely ignored. And when Hanuman saw that, he immediately broke one tree and he like put it as a like base for Lakshman, and he asked Lakshman that please sit on this place. Yeah. So Ram, when he saw that, he was so happy that Hanuman, by his intelligence and by his full mood of service attitude, he like tried to still remember Lakshman and did what he could do. Yeah, but he was very upset with Sugriva that he uh, disrespected a pure devotee, because Lakshman, when he's serving Ram, of course he is the also supreme personality of Godhead. but he was not given any respect. In fact, there was offense, devotee offense or Vaishnava aparad made. And hence, first time when Sugriva fought with Vali, he did not support him. And then what happened? Lakshman said that, okay, now because we need to distinguish, we need to differentiate between Bali and Sugriva. So he offered one garland to Sugriva. And what happens when you offer a garland? Normally, what you do? You bow down your head, correct? So he bowed down his head, even not knowing that what he is doing. But since he bowed down and then he paid his respect, Lord Ram still took that as a service and as a respect to Lakshman. So he did that, and then Lord Ram was happy, and then he protected him, and he killed Bali. So lots of learning really from Ramayana also. In fact, every kand, every chapter is having so many learnings. How many verses in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana?
$24,000.
Yeah, yes, 24,000 verses. So Srimad Bhagavatam is having 18,000 verses, and Valmiki Ramayana is having 24,000 verses. Yeah. And okay, so that's about Ramayana. Any other question? Any other comments? Any correction? Any realization?
Sorry. I may misunderstood. I don't know. Maybe I have learned it wrong. But in somewhere I read that the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, it's based on 4 verses. Is it right or is it wrong?
Sorry, what is full verses, Mataji? I missed.
In 4 verses.
Srimad Bhagavatam is
The whole Srimad Bhagavatam, 17,000 something, it's based on only 4 verses.
Okay, you are saying Chatur Shloka. Yeah, that's like the origin, because there were like the original Bhagavatam that's having so many thousands of verses. But when Brahmaji was told about the Srimad Bhagavatam from Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he explained that in 4 verses. But when he explained to Narada, he explained fully. And when Sukadev Goswami told to Parikshit Maharaj, he explained that in 18,000 verses because it was very short time frame, 7 days, 7 nights only. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other? If you don't have, then I will continue. You have to suffer my all this, my lecture.
Oh, we are
So
very happy to suffer then, Guru Maharaj. Sorry. We are very happy to suffer, Prabhuji. But I just wanted to clarify that I think even Ramayana is Chatushloki previously, and then it was expanded to 24,000. Is it correct or not?
I don't know about Ramayana, Mataji, about Chaturshloki. I know about Srimad Bhagavatam. I know about Bhagavad Gita in one way that Chaturshloki is considered very important. But Ramayana I have not heard really, because Valmiki, when he wrote this Ramayana, he wrote this like in a full explanation. In fact, it's mentioned that again Ramayana was having 100,000s of verses, but because it was explained in a way, so Valmiki Ramayana completed that in 24,000 verses. In fact, it's a couplets kind of verses. But Chatushloki, I am not 100% sure, Mataji, unless it might be correct.
Okay, thank you. I think Narad Muni, when he told Valmiki, he told in Chatushloki Ramayana, but then he expanded it to 24 verse. But still, even I am not sure, so I was asking. I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, Narad Muni only gave that instruction, like whole this Ramayana instructions or that whole pastimes to Valmiki, and then he has narrated in 24,000 verses. That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yes,
Can I
Esther
have a
Mataji. Yes,
question?
please, Esther Mataji.
Yes.
Yes.
My question will be regarding what Maharaj was speaking about the Sankitan Yagya, that this is the Yagya of this age, and that no other yagyas or processes are sufficient if they are not accompanied with the chanting of the holy name, like Sankitan, or for us or also for others. And then recently, I mean, it was a few months ago, there was a discussion on my Sangha program where I invite devotees. Sometimes we prepare some subject like that, and there was one devotee who we are very happy that he is back in the association more than before, because he was making a pause, and then he was making it very clear that he is not chanting, and that he said that the chanting is maybe for some people, but not for every person, and that there are also 9 other processes, like remembering and worshipping the deities, and like that, and that each of those processes are equally powerful. So of course we were just listening to him because he was not saying in the mood of a questioning, but more as a statement and trying to defend his attitude. And then but I remember then, because I was thinking about it, and so then I was also careful to hear maybe somewhere if somebody is speaking about this, and then I heard on one lecture that actually remembrance comes only after we have been chanting. Remembrance, like if a person gets some Krishna's mercy, that to get purified the heart, and then Krishna may give some nice spiritual realization to the devotee, and then only the devotee can actually have the remembrance. So because he's my neighbor, and I love this devotee very much, in the sense that we are all very happy that he came back, but somehow we are all very, very, very soft with him, not to discourage him. So nobody was saying anything, but I know, because he's my neighbor, I will sooner or later speak with him about this. Could you maybe share a little bit in a nice way how to encourage some person who is actually one of the first devotees here in our community? Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So your question is that he was more in terms of like all the 9 processes of devotional service. His view is that all are same, like when I understood correctly, and
Yes.
also like how to encourage him in the mood. Is that the question?
Yes, because he said he really cannot chant, that he really feels that all his being is against the chanting, because he really suffers if he tries to force himself. And of course, nobody ever told him, we have to be humble to chant the holy name, because he's a little bit having also this position that he's older than all of us. And
yeah, see, that's fine. See, we all comes with our previous samskaras, yeah, with previous. And see, whenever we start something good, it always looks very difficult in the starting. Yeah. And whatever looks good in the beginning is always not good for us in the long term. Like you means if we say that we would like to eat sugary food, yeah, all the chocolates, nice sweets, nice things, yeah, or any nice, very tasty, full of oils and other things, spices, prasad. But it's not good for us in the long term. Yeah. But something which is very healthy, healthier food, very rich in all the nutrients, but initially it may not look good. Yeah. Similarly, like if you see the example in jaundice, when we go through jaundice, yeah, in jaundice, when you suffer, to treat that jaundice, you are given a sugarcane juice. Sugarcane juice is very, very sweet because sugar is made from sugarcane. Yeah. So when you drink sugarcane juice, it looks too bitter in that state of jaundice. Yeah. But doctor advised to take sugarcane juice continuously. And when you continuously keep taking that sugarcane juice, that's the actually on the one of the most uh, important cure for treating this disease. And towards the end, when your disease is cured, sugarcane juice looks like very sweet. Yeah. So similarly, when we start chanting, initially we may not have the taste, but as our Acharya has mentioned, if we keep saying that, please keep chanting, okay, all the other quality is what you're saying, that the difficulties like humility and others, that will come to one state in somebody's mind when somebody starts chanting nicely. Yeah. So if we somehow encourage him in Harinam, in Sankirtan, whenever there is Sankirtan going on, try to engage him, try to give him some slot, try, so that he gets encouraged. Yeah. So when sometimes you get, like when you are put on the spot, then you feel like, okay, fine, let me do something. Yeah, you can't say no. So that way, I would say that encouragement or encouraging him for chanting is very, very important, rather than thinking that, okay, he's not having taste, or he's not humble, or he's like this and that, because he may have got certain, and also maybe sometimes it's important when you have that relationship with him, like you understand him, try to understand, is there any previous history or any background? Because of that, sometimes something is there. Yeah, we are not able to respond in a nice way, or not to do something. I met with somebody who was like not able to do certain services nicely, and nobody was really knowing what's happening, and people were thinking that maybe some attitude or ego, but that person was having lots of personal problems. Yeah. Family, somebody is having serious cancer, and then like other difficulties. So you never know what's really going on. Sometimes the chanting, like sometimes what happens, we don't have proper knowledge, and we start doing a devotional service like chanting or deity worship or something, whatever, yeah, or hearing. And when we get involved in more and more service, sometimes it happens that we face more and more difficulties. Yeah. And this is just a purification process, really. When we have the real knowledge, people understand that this everything is happening because Lords want us to focus more and more on Him rather than on the material activities. But if somebody is not having the right knowledge, they will say, oh, like I have started doing some service and see what's going to happen. Like the person who is completely atheist, he's enjoying, or he or she, and I'm just doing some rounds chanting and everything, but still I am suffering. So we need to understand background, and we need to give that person, try to give right knowledge, right information with some intelligence, and then hopefully, and like all the prasada, we should also pray, offer our prayers, because very important that when things are not in our control, if we offer prayers, we ask really Lord's mercy on him, Lord is very happy. Means if we are not asking for ourselves, we are asking for somebody, that please Lord, if you want to, please give him right intelligence so he can do these services rightly for your happiness, yeah, for your pleasure. So that way also, maybe Esther Mataji, that something comes in my mind.
Thank you very much. I will remember all the things you said. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Sonal Mataji, you want to add something?
Well, no, I mean, Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask a quick question regarding this Sankirtan, group Sankirtan. That can it be done in mode of ignorance? Because recently I've come across a few YouTube videos where it's done. It's nowhere near Sankirtan. You know that. Can it be done in mode of ignorance as well, or because I thought that always it has to be very pure and without
Yes,
any paraphernalias. So
no, like see, chanting of Maha Mantra is something which can be done by anybody, anytime, in any mode. Yeah, in any mode also. Whether we are in mode of ignorance, whether we are in mode of passion, whether we are in mode of goodness, yeah, or we are transcending beyond these three modes. Yeah. So it can be done in any mode. See, when we chant Harinam on the street, yeah, the purpose is that somebody who is completely unaware of holy name, unaware of lordship, at least he or she can hear that holy name. They are not aware of anything, but it's going in their mind, in their inside. So that's going to have some impact in their spiritual journey. Somebody who is also chanting, again, they can be also in different modes. Sometimes people chant. I don't want to put that comment, but sometimes people chant in different mood also. Like sometimes to show off, sometimes to get some fame, sometimes to do something. Just you know, so focus. And sometimes you might have seen that when the holy name Sankirtan is happening, or in Kirtan Mela or somewhere, uh, few devotee will say, okay, what time is my slot? How many devotees will be turning up? Good size will be there. Yeah, is a prime slot or not? So see, I'm not commenting on anybody, but my point is the true holy name Sankirtan is when you are really chanting for Lord pleasure. You're not really worried about, and this is our lack of knowledge. Yeah, and some like all this. But thing is that when we continuously keep chanting this holy name, the Lord, and if our we might be in different mode, we might be completely in mode of ignorance. But if our consciousness is that Lord, please help me. Yeah, one day I can chant nicely. Yeah, for the real pleasure, for your real pleasure. Then Lord will give, and He will show the path. So it doesn't matter really like what mood. And I also feel one thing: how somebody is doing, we should not really even worry, because if we worry more, we will be impacting our own sadhana. We are not here in this world to judge anybody, bhakti or anything, because we don't know through our material eyes what we see may not be right. Yeah, I will just tell you about one person. One person, one devotee. I also like saw him, and he used to, whenever you serve him anything, he will mix every single thing and make a full like fully mushy. Like you put chili, like fresh chili, uh, sweet, spice, like all the things, whatever you give, he will just mix everything, mix it up, and then he will eat. If you see from your external eye, you will say he's a mad. Yeah, what kind of a person? And when you ask him, his consciousness is, I don't want to build or develop any taste, what is good and what is bad. So I just mix it, whatever comes now, because Krishna has accepted this. Why I need to build any taste in my tongue? Because already I am so fallen. If at least I want to control my one sense. See the external versus internal consciousness. So we don't know. Yeah. Sometimes even devotee who is doing kirtan, uh, they are asked, they are very particular. Oh, you are not doing, like even during the kirtan, they will focus. Oh, you play this way, play this way, play this way. Externally, we may feel that, oh, he or she is not focused on kirtan. Why he's just getting disturbed? Yeah, why he's worried about externals? Just chant. But their mood is, I want to chant perfectly for my lordship. Do this offering perfectly. So we don't know what is external, what is internal really. And that's why it's very important, rather than focusing on somebody else sadhana or their own service, we focus on our own, completely like be what you call oblivious, to that situation. Forget what somebody is doing really. We are nowhere in this world, because this world is this lifetime is very small. Yeah. We feel it's a very long time, but actually it's very small. We feel like 70 years, 80 years, 100 years I am going to live. But see, just a fly, yeah, in few hours, that one fly or mosquito have full life. They take birth, they marry, they produce children. They, next in just few hours, one night, everything happens. Yeah, but for them, when they see our life, they feel, oh, human life, so many years. Oh, they are great. Similarly, if you see demigod, they live for how many years? Like hundred thousands. Yeah. Brahma, 1 second. Anybody know how many Brahmas 1 second for our life? 1 second of Brahma is how many years of ours? Amrita Mataji. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think I don't know this answer.
Okay. At least I can answer one now. 1 second, sorry, no ego here. But 1 second of Brahma is 100,000 years of our life. Yeah. So just imagine, like, we have so much, like, but our life is so short, we should not really worry what's happening. We should just try to use this life every moment for our own improvement in our bhakti. So that will be my, sorry, Sonal Mataji, a small question, but I just, no, sorry, I just like made it so big.
No,
But I
thank
hope
you.
I
Thank you
answered.
so much, Prabhuji, because it bothers me. And then sometimes I think, what is this? And then I should not be bothered because I'm not
Yeah.
perfect myself. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Hare
if,
Krishna, Prabhu.
yes, Mataji.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think I only know that much, that we are in the 51st year of Brahma's life. I just know this much.
Yes, there's because they are the 14 Manuj, yeah, and we are in the 7th
Yeah.
Manu stage, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about Rama and Leela, and I realized that yes, there was Sitarani Mataji is also here in this class today. So it's like our thank you, Mataji, for joining this and showering your mercy, your blessings, and congratulations also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if no any further questions or correction, I will close this because we are on time. I don't want to bore everybody. Yeah.
Just one short practical thing. The bhajans of Madhava Prabhu at the beginning, do you have it? Can I get it? Because these bhajans just before the lecture were
It's
so
just on
beautiful.
YouTube, Mataji. Just let me see if I can. I can just paste the link because
Mhm.
everything is for Lord service. If I can something do for you, that will be my pleasure. Just give me 30 seconds.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So beautiful. It was so beautiful.
But there are so many messages on chat, I did not realize. So here I have posted the link, Mataji. And let me just see if there any question or anything. Then I can search on very serious. Okay, no, there is no question. Okay.
Thank you.
See, I told you my speaking is not that good. Yeah. See, everybody left. Yeah. So thank you all of you for at least bearing me. Yeah. Patiently and listening to that so humbly. Yeah. So thank you very much. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
वंशकल्प तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
गुरु महाराज की जय।
Jai.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद
Krishna
की
Prabhu.
जय।
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे
Thank
कृष्णा।
you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.